make it as far as we're going. Watch your toes. Good. I really wanted to get the gate frame here in the ground and then this gate post in the ground as well, which I did off camera, because now that these holes are filled and no longer a hazard to the steers, once the concrete sets up, I'll be able to walk the boys through here and put them over in the bullpen, which is where I would like to get them. And while I'm letting that concrete set up, there's something else that I wanted to get after today, and that is just kind of cleaning up a little bit. I've got piles of junk sort of everywhere from tearing down the loading alley, and I'd like to get those moved and dealt with. See, moving these piles of boards and posts is a perfect job for the LS with the forks, and while I've got the tractor down here, I thought maybe I'd bring the bucket as well and try to move some of this stuff. And what this is T-posts, which I obviously want to keep. I'll have to find a good place to store those. But then I've got some old wire panels here that are kind of bowed and bent. I don't know if I'll really want to keep those or not. And then I've got these big 4x4 bins that sadly are full of rice. As a matter of fact, I got these bins full of rice for pig feed, and I didn't end up needing that much feed or using that much feed, and here they sat. They got rained on, you know, several years, so they're full of whatever is in there, decomposed rice, I guess it is. So it'd be nice to move these out of here. I haven't moved them up till now because I didn't have a tractor that I thought could pick them up. I think the LS can do it though, because it can lift like over 5,000 pounds on the loader, so we're gonna give that a try. I've also got this pile of concrete chunks that I would like to move, and what these bins are sitting on is actually an old concrete slab. There used to be a dog pen here many years ago. The slab is cracked and broken and really not much good for anything. I've tried over the years to think of what, you know, a 10x10 slab would be good for, but I just haven't come up with anything. And in all actuality, what this does is just kind of make a magnet for me to pile stuff up, and it really interferes with the road here. And what really spurred all of this train of thought is the fact that the new loading alley is going to poke out a little bit further right about here, and I got to thinking that maybe it would be nice to kind of move the road over and have it just go straight on through here like it probably did years ago. I've got a lot of jobs that are just perfect for the LS today, so we better go get it and get started. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Well, I guess while I'm loading these up, I need to kind of organize them between posts that are still somewhat good and ones that are just trash. And I think most of them are going to be trash, so this shouldn't be too hard. I guess I got a load here. I could probably squeeze a few more on there, but whether I do that or not, I'm still gonna have to come back and make another trip. So we'll go dump this in the junk pile and come back and get the rest of this stuff. Little tip for you, or something that I started doing a while ago, is when I'm carrying a load like this on the front, and I know I've got boards and posts with nails and screws and anything that's sharp like that, I usually carry it in reverse, so if something falls off, I don't accidentally run over it and puncture a tire. I don't think this is doing anything anymore. Matter of fact, while we're here, let's go ahead and water these post holes again. You know, I thought I was just planning ahead, laying all my posts out on the ground roughly where they're gonna go, but now they're kind of in the way and I need to move them. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, these T-posts are up on blocks, so there's a chance that I can get the forks in there and pick up this whole pile. There's a chance. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it might. Well, I got the pile, now I just got to figure out where to put it. We're making good progress over here. I think the next thing I want to do is start popping these posts out, and I'm not sure how that's going to go actually, because they are in the concrete form. I don't think the concrete is very strong. I don't think there's any rebar or anything. In fact, some of these posts have just fallen over the years. So we'll start pulling on them and see what happens. I don't know, probably gonna slip, but we'll try it. Well, I did not realize that this bin was full of water. I thought I pulled the drains on those so that this exact thing wouldn't happen, but you know, who knows? Something else could have plugged it or whatever, but we got what we got. And when I stepped out of the tractor, I thought for sure this smell was gonna knock me out, but surprisingly, it actually does not smell at all. So I think the stuff that's in the bins, I'm just gonna dump out over by the corral and let it compost. And this stuff here, once I get the bucket on the tractor, we'll try to spread this out a little bit. but I still would like to pull. There's a little T-post right here, and then another one of these posts here. This will probably pop out pretty easily. So I want to get all that stuff out of here before I start popping the slab up. So let's get to it. I think most of the rest of this will come out with the bucket. It'll be easier just because of the size of the pieces. But I do have this piece in the corner here. If I can get the forks under it, that's the way to do it. You know, and all the time I've had this tractor and all the loader work that I've done with it, this is actually the first time that I've ever used the bucket. Things like this is exactly why I don't really want to pull the tractor in here too far and try to scoop this stuff up. If a tire found this, it would probably be the end of it. So that's why I'm loading this by hand. Have you ever set out to clean up a mess and at the end of the day it's like, well, I've still got a mess, but now it's a different mess, and somehow, some way that does give me a sense of accomplishment. I gotta tell you, today I was really thankful to have the LS to help me do this job. Not only did it get things done a lot faster than I would have been able to otherwise, but the two things that really stood out to me today about the tractor, dude. Think he'll start when I start talking again. I think the two things that stood out to me about the tractor the most today is that despite it being a really big tractor, it's actually super maneuverable in these tight spots. And then the other thing is that the power of this front end loader is just unbelievable. I've never been able to stall this. I've never shown this thing a load that it couldn't lift. And when it comes to like popping the concrete up, pulling posts out, that is really nice. I think that's as far as I'm gonna get with things today. I mean, it kind of looks like a disaster, but I really did get a lot done. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.